shows, and if you check out the YouTube archive, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified there for new stuff as well. Special thanks to Onyx Path Publishing and White Wolf for gifting us the World of Darkness and all the support they offer. To Astral Tabletop for the awesome virtual space we use to play all our games. And to @NateMid from right here at Vorpal Tales for our custom Astral Tabletop character sheets that you can use to play your own games on Astral Tabletop. Vorpal Tales is always looking for ways to give back to various groups that we represent. Let us tell you a little bit about the fantastic group we've chosen this time to support for the month of July. You might be wondering why we chose Love Your Rebellion for this month's charity. Well, Love Your Rebellion is a nonprofit whose mission we believe in because they employ, discover, assist, and empower minority communities. Those that self-identify as women, immigrants, people of color, people from queer and trans communities, people from low-income communities, and people with disabilities are all included and uplifted through LYR. This is done through music, art, poetry, and literature promotion and publication. Attending or taking part in events put on by LYR is an opportunity to connect with who you are, celebrating pride in your identities, supporting intersectionality, learning, and awareness across the communities and our beautiful diversity. LYR is obviously putting in the work to better the world in their communities, so Vorpal Tales is doing their small part to help them out. All of July, we are taking donations for LYR, and 100% of that money is going to empower diversity. LYR is a group that Vorpal Tales is close to in real life. They're fantastic people who do amazing work. We also have a slew of rewards you can buy and a pile of fun things our crew will do as we reach milestones. Please be sure to check them out in the link that will show up in the chat momentarily. I believe our next goal is the tattoos for a few of the folks at Vorpal Tales, including Zach. On July 23rd, we'll be running a special set of charity one-shots back-to-back. First up will be Blue Rose, run by Rachel, then Extreme Meat Punks Forever, run by Steve. Rewards and milestones are available during all live plays played on the Vorpal Tales Twitch all month long. Now that all of that is out of the way, allow me to introduce myself. I am Vittori, and I will be your host, guide, and tale spinner for the evening as we tell a tale of awesome adventure in the world of Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th Anniversary Edition. Now, Cubs, please tell us about yourself and the character you'll be playing tonight.
As always, I am Dwayne. You guys can find me on the internet at Made of Kimchi on many of the platforms. Tonight I will be playing the lovely Linda Davis, your Hamid Philodox Child of Gaia.
Hello, I am Zachary Naldra, he, him. I can be found on the Bird app at Zach Rules. I'm also found at Twitch at Zach Rules, and I would like to thank the lovely people who follow me, even though I have never broadcasted a thing on Twitch. Tonight I am going to be playing Breaker of Change, the Bonar Galliard Lupus.
Hi, I am Ray Alexa. You can find me on Twitter at RAHastaway. You can find me here on Discord. I'm always around, ready to chat. I will be playing Sage Lavat, your Hamid, Child of Gaia Thurge.
And I believe that leaves it to me. So I am J3 Billion, otherwise known as John, but also J3 Billion on all the interwebs. Got that backwards. Cool. Moving on. I am our resident Frazier de Seth tonight, our Glasswalker Hamid, and resident Chitster.
Well, before we get back to the story, let's check in with our resident Galliard so they can remind us of what happened the last time we were together.
Our young cubs headed east towards Thunder Bay, and in a little under an hour, they had arrived on the outskirts. Sage broke it to Breaker that he will have to assume Hamid form. It did not go well. Trying to defuse the situation, Linda suggests that they all take on personas where Breaker can at least stay in Lupus form. Heading south, following the river to the dock area of Thunder Bay, Breaker howls out to the Thunder Bay Garu to ask permission to enter the territory and learn the Bone Gnawers. None of the Bone Gnawers have contact at the docks. Stinky Pete, who might be able to get them a ship. After sneaking back past a campsite, Frakesher breaks away from the back to grab poutine from a gas station, and the remaining cubs continue on. Fraser orders an insane amount of poutine, however, he realizes that he has no wallet and hence no money. He tries to persuade, that's the right word, the gas station worker to allow him to go without paying, but he does not succeed. Trying to pay with items that he has not purchased in the station, the worker has then threatened to call the cops, and Fraser flees to rejoin his compatriots. Continuing on the way, they come across a Yacht dry dock area. Given the area they are in now, Breaker reluctantly assumes Hamid form. Sage approaches one of the dock workers to ask for directions to the docks. The main dock area is a good 10 miles away, but the worker offers to drive them within the next hour. Linda, not wanting to wait, approaches the worker and asks to use his phone to call a taxi. The taxi will arrive in much less time, and the pack jumps in and is off to the docks. Arriving at Thunder Bay docks, they ask around and find Stinky Pete. He arrives and is explained the situation. He states he's willing to help in securing transportation. However, Fraser's poutine exploits catch up with them as 3 Canadian Mountie SUVs speed into the area. Unwilling to be caught by the police, Stinky Pete says he will meet up with them after dark and darts off. Quick on her feet and not wanting confrontation, Linda volunteers a vehicle in hopes to make a quick getaway. Daring police chase ensues. Breaker sidesteps into the Umbra, reappearing in one of the chase cars. He disables the vehicle, sending it careening off the road. Joining back together, they manage to get away and take refuge in a park near the docks and wait for nightfall. Meeting up with Stinky Pete, he is handed what money they have in order to secure transportation, and he is able to provide a very unassuming fishing barge that has definitely seen better days. Setting sail for a high adventure on the Great Lakes, Breaker has some trouble getting his sea legs, as is the first time for him on this type of contraption. Sage and Linda take shifts steering the boat towards the island destination. The following morning, they arrived at the island, bringing the fishing boat as close as possible without running aground, and drop anchor. They all dive in, swim to the shore, to the island, and once on the sandy beach, they remain the remainder of the pack assumes Lupus Hispo form to warm up and begin the hunt for grandmother.
Thank you very much, Zach. I muted myself because my cat is being very, very vocal tonight. So that was where we had left off. You guys had reached the shore of Caribou Island, which is where you were to go and find grandmother. Now, we have a minor chaos that we're going to use right now. So why don't we roll for that? And what am I rolling? A 10 on this? We're going to start things out right. As a blizzard sets in, visibility on the island almost immediately disappears as a strong wind and driving snow comes in across the lake. You guys were lucky to make it here when you did on the ship, because it would have been pretty hard to find the island, and even harder to determine when you were close enough to drop anchor had it hit just before. So with visibility at essentially nothing, how do you guys want to proceed?
I'm going to proceed by drinking this soda that I owe someone. Smells I don't even know what this one is. I thought I only had 2 green ones left, and this one's still in there. So I don't know.
How is your watered down sparkling ecto cooler?
Oh God.
Describe the flavor to us, Dwayne.
Give us the wine sommelier.
Yeah. Earthy,
Ugh.
tannins.
I don't know what this is. It's
Radioactive.
so bad it's making me like, you know when you taste something and it's just like so bad your mouth like
Rebels. Starts
Yeah.
to water to try
Yeah,
and
it starts
flush
to
it
water.
out. Oh, yeah.
that's kind of how it is. It's very tart. It's like tart garbage.
Tart garbage. Beautiful description.
Oh,
like
it kind of smells like if you made a fruit smoothie and you poured the rest of it down your drain and it just kind of sat in your garbage disposal for a day. Kind of like that.
And then you drank that.
And then you drank it. Yeah.
That's a bit of imagery. I could have done without. Well done. Well done.
Ugh.
All right. So, is there any reflective surface around anywhere?
The wind has whipped the waves up to the point where you can't really use the water, unfortunately. But I believe that somebody has something for this. Dwayne. Linda
I do.
has sunglasses.
I do. I have mirror shades.
What would make common sense tell me to do?
If I don't know that Linda has these shades, then I'm gonna be like, Linda, you got makeup in there?
If you look at Linda, she's like very plain. Doesn't wear any makeup. Like, no.
Fraser
No, I
turns
don't.
around. I mean, maybe. I don't think I have a mirror, though.
But I've got these shades. She pulls out some
You got some
sunglasses.
eyeliner here, a little bit of foundation, though. Why? You need me to do your foundation?
When I was at the zoo, I would see women with these little mirrors that they carry around.
Yeah, unfortunately, I just don't have it. Like,
I
hmm.
would have one. Sage pulls out a mirror.
Would we be trained enough in the way of the Garu to be able to look in without entering? Or would we have to do a full roll to enter?
I'm going to say that normally I don't require rolls if you're not in any kind of a stressful situation, but I'm going to say that the snow and the wind is stressful enough that I will ask for a roll.
All right.
But you guys are in deep wilderness, so the difficulty is only a 5.
What is that roll? I have not had to make that yet.
It is
Gnosis.
Gnosis. And one of you can make the roll for the entire group. You just have to hold hands like kids at daycare.
I mean, I'm still in lupus form, so.
I can make it.
They can grab your tail.
Fraser is all too readily grabbing someone's hand.
Yeah, I'll make the roll. This is my bag.
My mirror shades. The mirror shades actually make it 2 steps easier. Oh, it says
For
the
you,
gaunt.
for you or for
For-
anybody using it?
I think it's just for me.
Yeah,
So then you should probably be one making the roll if it makes it 2 steps easier.
but Linda,
Alright.
yeah, Linda can lead the whole group.
So,
So you need
yeah, I grab my bag that's kind of hanging around my neck because I am in lupus form, and I just kind of like move the zipper, and then nuzzle my face down onto the sunglasses so they're sitting on.
So the sunglasses are actually, because they're a fetish, they actually change with you. So you would actually be wearing them in Lupus. You would just kind of have like a raccoon,
Awesome. Even
like
better.
a mask. So you just have to just activate them. So do you guys make like a little ring where you each grab somebody's tail?
Yeah.
That is exactly what I do.
That's exactly what
Very
happens.
comically.
And then Linda mumbles, "Roll on," and roll your gnosis, please.
So what is my difficulty now?
Difficulty would be 2 less, so it would be a 3.
Oh, look at that. I couldn't possibly not do well.
Did you roll yet?
That is
Yeah,
something
I got
that someone.
3 successes.
That's what I was going to say. You say this now, you haven't rolled yet.
Three
All right.
successes.
3 plus successes is an instant shift. So all of you, almost as if your eyes blinked, and you are in the Umbra. Now, Sage has spent a lot of time here. The rest of you, maybe not so much. So it's almost, in this case, it's very jarring, because usually it's a little bit jarring. In this case, it's very jarring, because you go from pounding wind and the snow crystals and ice crystals just tearing at your areas that are exposed where they're not covered with fur, getting into your ears, to almost utter stillness. The woods that you had seen in the physical realm are stronger, they're thicker. The trees here are somehow larger than most of the trees that you've ever seen, no matter how old they are. And it is like you're standing in a moonlit glade.
Glad to be out of the snow. No, I could get used to this.
Is there anything around that would potentially explain the blizzard in March? The sudden blizzard in March? Or is that something that is not affecting the Umbra? Or is not have a
You
mirror
don't
of some sort?
see anything in the Umbra that would be an indication. Like when you were back home, we'll say, even around the sept where you guys had been, in extreme northeastern Minnesota, where there's very little civilization, there was still some. When you would go into the Umbra, there would still be some little spider webs kind of here and there, and you know that as you get closer to towns, that becomes more and more prevalent. Whereas here, you're in the Umbra and there is nothing. It's pristine. This is probably the most wild area, the most pure version of the Umbra that any of you have ever seen. So based on that, you would guess that it's just a freak storm.
Okay.
I'll see
least-
when
at
the
least it's
cold
not
fronts
cold.
hit the warm fronts, and then there's an updraft from the lake sucking all the moisture up. I mean, it's a lot of hibbity-hobbity and call it fucking magic.
It's would it be, is it uncommon for a storm to exist without a spirit being around of a storm?
No, that's not uncommon. mainly because when you are in the Umbra, you do see the spiritual representations of stuff, but it is more of a like a long exposure photograph. So it is displaying kind of that region over a extended period of time, not necessarily as it is right at this moment. When you had been popping into the Umbra to when you were popping into the cop cars weren't there because they didn't necessarily have a spiritual representation. But even if they did, it would have to be like a car that had been sitting there for long enough to leave an imprint in the Umbra.
Okay. And is there absolutely anything that is not 100% of the wild that can be seen?
Roll perception plus alertness for me. Difficulty 6. For anybody who is following Breaker's lead and, kind of
I
looking
have
around.
I have a question.
Okay.
Because we are in the Umbra on Grandmother's Island,
Mm-hmm.
And we were sent here to check to see, what was going on with Grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some kind of roll I could make to see if I could discern those kinds of answers in the Umbra? Or at least...
I think that's what I was rolling for.
I think what Ray is saying is more that they want to do more like a spiritual feeling,
Yes.
more than just Breaker, how many successes did you get?
Well, I have not rolled yet because I wanted to ask, does heightened senses have any effect on this?
Absolutely. It reduces it to I believe it reduces the difficulty by 2 to a 4. Because you are indeed in lupus.
Now, storyteller, I should just remind you of one of the merits that I took, which is Spirit Magnet.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I didn't forget.
Also, since heightened senses is, do I use the primal urge roll?
If that's higher, sure, go ahead.
Okay.
For most, I would say no, but for lupus, absolutely.
Well, the description of it gives a primal. She may roll perception plus urge to perform uncanny sensory feats, such as tracking by scent.
Yeah, and that's something where for a Hamid I don't generally allow, but for a lupus, absolutely. That's
all those. Well, it's a lupus gift, so yeah, that would make sense. Because apparently, a third of my dice wanted to be ones. That is 1 success.
Okay. So no, you don't notice anything. Like I said, this looks to be the most pristine version of the wild you have ever seen. Sage, roll me wits plus occult or enigmas, whichever one is higher.
Okay, you said wits?
Yeah.
And then either occult or
enigmas.
I had to learn how words are spelled so I could find enigma. Like how's enigma spelled? Is that
how do you spell that?
So I need to know what letter to look for.
Words, how do they work? Yes.
Let's try to find out. Okay. All right. 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. So it's not so much that you see or hear anything. It's more that you feel a familiar tug. It's the tug that you felt many times when Kiva has been trying to get your attention.
Mhm.
And the tug is towards that direction.
All right.
So you feel like that Kiva wants you to go that way. Yeah, that way.
Would I get a sense of like just me or all of us?
All. Well, so you were kind of, when you were thinking about that, you were thinking of grandmother.
Yeah.
And then that's when you felt the tug.
Hey,
So
guys,
not necessarily inclusive as much as just you're looking for grandmother that way.
I got something. And Sage is going to start walking in that direction.
Well, all right then. Looks like they know what they're doing.
Yep, gonna slowly follow.
Yeah.
Okay. So as all of you are traveling on 4 legs, you make very quick work of bounding through this primordial forest. The ground below you is soft with the needles of millennia of leaves and pine needles from these trees. And soon you burst out into a clearing. And across the clearing, you see what you can only assume is the namesake for this island. You see a large herd of caribou. The spirits of caribou. Just as you guys enter the clearing, Zach, you have a hand up.
I'm gonna finish setting the setting, and then I will go.
Okay. Just as you guys enter the clearing, as one, all of their heads lift up. And they don't look at you. They look the other way.
So I'm gonna kind of instinctively start circling around the opposite direction of where they're looking.
Okay.
In a flanking type maneuver.
Okay. So Breaker sees this and immediately kind of starts to circle. Do you want to be in the clearing or in the trees?
I'm gonna stay along the tree line for the moment.
Okay.
Sage is going to go the opposite way of Breaker.
Okay.
Like that way, it's like we can meet up in the middle if they have to.
Okay.
Yeah, Linda would probably be looking in the direction that they're looking, trying to figure out what they're looking at.
Okay. Roll perception plus alertness for me. And then what is Fraser doing?
Fraser is just gonna kind of hang out with Linda.
Just gonna hunker down.
Yeah, he is kind of awestruck by his surroundings and like like you said, everything's so pure here, and it's quite the change from the cities and the stuff he's used to. And he finds it refreshing. He finds it nice. So he's just kind of like a little bit lost in the moment. He realizes they're looking at something, so he'll take a wandering glance, but he's actually not paying that much attention.
Okay.
Apparently, Linda's not paying that much attention either. 0 successes.
Okay.
Is
So-
Linda in lupus form?
I think you guys were all in lupus
She
or
is.
Hispo. I meant to write it down at the end of the last session, but I forgot.
I was
So-
in Hispo.
So
Okay.
did Linda's role include the -2 perception difficulty for being in lupus?
It did not. Aha. try that again. Actually, hold on. Let me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I rolled. Hey, that's better. 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. So, as your pack mates slink off, low to the ground, darting out and around, and Fraser is just kind of looking at her tree, Linda kind of puts her paws up on one of those trees and stretches out so that she can see. And Linda is the first one to see what it is that these caribou spirits have spotted. So, that face.
What do I see?
So what Linda sees is what almost looks like a gorilla, but it has like ridges that have spikes running all kind of down its body, and it's a little bit more upright, but it's coming out of the trees and walking on its forepaws, and then its face is just this maw with needle teeth that goes from ear to ear, and it's got 2 little horns, and it is coming out of the trees on the other side of the clearing. And let's go ahead and roll initiative there. So initiative is a D10, and then you're going to add your wits and your dexterity to that.
Ten.
Linda's at a 9.
7.
Okay, we're adding our wits and our dexterity.
So add those dots up, and then add that to whatever you rolled on the D10.
Okay.
Remember, your dexterity is 2 higher.
Yes.
Oh,
Because you
okay,
guys are
then.
in lupus, do make sure you include the boost that gives you.
All right. So,
Oh, never mind. Mine is 11 then.
11 then. Okay.
I got a 15.
15. Okay. All right. And all right. So, Linda, you see that. What are you going to do this turn?
Well, if it hasn't seen me yet, I will hunk down, hopefully in the brush, to mask myself.
Breaker, you're going to just continue to circle?
Do I see it yet?
No.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna So I'm circling around to come up behind the caribou that are all looking over at this thing.
Yep.
I still focus on the caribou, and so until it enters my line of sight naturally, or until something occurs that is going to make me aware. I mean, yeah, if I get around to where it's realistically in my line of sight, then. But yeah.
Okay. And Fraser, you're not really paying attention, so you're gonna do nothing, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's gonna go and just like take his paw and kind of like scratch at a little bit of the bark
Okay.
on the trees and just see what happens. Kind of like dig around a little bit. Just like be the curious boy.
Okay. And then Sage, they are continuing their circle as well.
Would between the two of us, would it have entered my line of sight before it entered Breaker's?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So in that case, because like if it had, that was going to change what I did.
No,
Had
it's still on the other side of the caribou from you. The only reason that Linda saw it was because she elevated to see over them.
Well, then I have a question. So if I'm essentially circling around behind them. So then wouldn't Sage be circling in front of them, moving towards where this thing is?
So you guys are here in the clearing. Caribou are here. You guys are going this way.
Mm-hmm.
It's down here somewhere. So you haven't moved far enough to see it yet.
So if this is the circle and they're in the middle and they're looking down,
yep.
Then I wouldn't be circling around to go behind them because I'm already behind them.
Well, they were just kind of standing there, and then their heads all came up when you guys entered, and then they looked that way and kind of aimed that way. So I assumed you were trying to circle around whatever was startling them.
No, I was circling behind them.
Okay, then they all turned to look at it. So where you guys were is behind them.
So I'm already behind them. Then I'm no longer circling. I'm just confused because if me and Sage are going opposite directions.
Well, you started to circle out and around.
Yeah, to come behind them.
To get behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but they turned to face away. So I thought you meant behind them, as in like on the opposite side of them from you.
Okay, no. So the idea when seeing them is that Breaker's going to come up behind one and bite one on the butt.
Okay, so you would already be behind them then.
Okay.
So you would not have circled.
I would not have circled. I would have sneaky.
You want to sneak out to try and attack one.
To get closer, yes.
Get closer. Okay, then let me change your thing. Does that change your approach, Sage?
I
had described it wrong. Breaker is not trying to circle them. He actually dropped into a slink, and he is slinking out towards them.
Yes. Because Sage was going to help, like, Breaker do whatever he was doing.
Okay, so you still want to circle to try and drive them towards him?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. This is something that you guys did the other day, so that makes sense for Sage to do that. Linda, do you want to say something to Breaker? Because he is only probably a few yards ahead of you.
I will, I'll kind of give out that low, guttural warning growl. That's kind of like a, hey, hold up.
Yeah, and Sage would have like started going like after Breaker, so like Sage would probably heard that too.
Yep. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to get an idea of where everybody was, so that when Linda says something, we already have the kind of the order. So Linda lets out a growl of something's wrong. So Sage, what do you do?
Sage will respond. Sage whisper, but like, what is it? Look, we'll go back towards Linda.
Nope, you're fine.
Oh.
Wait.
I mean, I guess I'd just be like, it's some kind of monkey thing. It's a big monkey. I don't know what kind of spirits are here. But it looks like an angry gorilla. Those are here.
Sage, roll intelligence plus occult to see if you know what this is based on that description.
Intelligence plus occult?
Yep.
Alright.
Difficulty 6.
If I can hear Linda, I'm just gonna kind of growl back. Is it worm?
Oh.
Not the soda. The
soda
the
is.
monkey thing.
The soda appears to be, yeah. Worm taint. That's what it is. That's the flavor.
It explains why I'm so bad. Next dice.
I don't know if Linda would know.
All the source of nitrogen in your daily for your daily diet. Worm
We have 3
excrement.
homids. Did we get 3 homids and no one took sense worm?
5 successes. You know exactly what this is. And it makes subconsciously the hackles at the back of your neck rise up. All down Sage's back. All of you immediately pick up on this shift in Sage. That's a scrag. Scrag is the spirit that is left behind by a mass murderer. They are the shock troops of the worm. They are very, very nasty spirits. They get their talons into somebody, so into somebody who's a murderer or whatever. In the physical realm, they latch onto them, and over the course of a matter of days, they convert them into essentially killing machines that go on rampages. So
Yeah.
that tenet of the litany that says combat the worm wherever it is, that's the worm.
It's right there.
And, you know, it makes sense, you know, that Sage rolled a fucking 15 on their initiative. So yeah, like the 3 of them have never seen Sage so obviously angry. And they say, like, that's a scrag. It's worm. And
Breaker's on it.
And that's all Breaker needs to hear. Okay, so Linda, what are you doing?
Well, if Breaker says he's killing it, then I'm gonna follow his lead. Because pack makes back each other up.
Okay, so you're going to move to attack.
Yes.
Okay. Breaker, move into attack.
Yes. So ideally, I'm going to shift into Lupus and make a big loud noise from behind the caribou, with the intention that I am going to scare the caribou to run towards the scrag and use that as cover.
Okay.
To then pounce on it. I will use beast speech to be like, run, go straight ahead.
Okay. Fraser, you've heard this,
Trample this thing.
so you know now that something is out there.
There's
What is-
been a disturbance in the force.
Yes.
Just gonna pick up on the obvious distress that all the rest of the pack mates seem to have, and be like, "That's worm. Oh shit, I've heard of that. That's bad. That's very bad." And he is going to kind of like stop where he was digging, like he was actually rifling through a bunch of sticks just to see if like they withered there and if there's bugs underneath, just because. And he is going to stay inside the tree line and try and find a good point to which he can flank this entity or even see this entity.
Okay. So you're going to circle around like a good ragabash. Try to get in at the flank. All right. And Sage.
First things first, Sage. Krynos is my absolute beast mode form, right?
Oh, yeah.
Immediate Krynos.
9 foot tall murder machine.
Immediate.
Okay. And then,
but yeah.
so you know what the other people are planning to do, but you are going to go first.
Yes.
So
yeah.
we do initiative, goes announce from the bottom to the top, and then act from the top down.
Yeah. So yeah, immediate Krynos. And I am just going straight for it.
Okay.
And I want to wait, how I think? How far away is it?
50 yards or so.
50?
It's not close, but it's also not like crazy far away.
Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I am going to run at it and I want to tackle it.
Okay.
And when I can, eventually I'm going to body slam it.
Okay. So
Like,
let's kick this off. Sage, are you going to spend a point of rage to instant shift, or are you just going to try to shift as you run?
I will spend a point of rage.
Okay. So the rest of you see Sage dart off, and as they run towards the caribou, they part to let them through. Bounding across the field, they get very close to this thing before it's kind of rears up in surprise as Sage leaps into the air, shifts into Krynos, and tries to tackle it. So let's do a tackle. I believe that you are going to roll
Dex plus brawl.
Dex plus brawl. And let's see.
That's quite a brawl. Not quite a brawl, but I got it.
So go ahead and roll
Okay.
that.
Okay, got 4 dice going on for me. Excellent. More dice than I did.
Yep, make sure your form you're taking into account.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I'm like, haha.
Okay.
3 successes.
Alright, dashing towards their opponent, the attacker smashes full force into them. Tackles are risky though, using one's own self as a battering ram. Dex athletics difficulty 6. For the attacker, difficulty 6 plus the attacker's successes for the target, or else wind up sprawled on the ground. Okay, so you got 3.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure why it says Dex Brawl down there, but Dex Athletics above. Let's do brawl, though.
Well, there's two rolls associated with that. The actual roll is Dex plus Brawl, difficulty 7, and then as a result, both combatants have to make a Dex plus Athletics, difficulty 6, to stay on their feet.
That explains the difference. Okay. Okay, so roll Dex plus Athletics, because your 3 successes definitely hits him.
I lose things. Slowly. But okay, so I don't have any athletics. So do I just roll Dex?
So you roll Dex at a 7 then.
Dex at a 7?
Yep.
One success.
Okay, so that means that I need to roll mine at a 7 as well. And I also got 1 success. So you slam into it, but you do not knock it over.
Did they roll damage from the slam?
No, roll your strength. Oh wait, hold on.
Yep, it's straight strength.
And then something else.
Okay, so strength, and I'm
Roll your strength at a 6.
at a 6 difficulty. Like how many? So
Just whatever your strength is.
If I have 2 dots in strength,
So in Krynos, that would go to, I believe it's 6, because you get a +4.
Yep.
all right. And do I just give you like the total amount?
Yep, number of 6s that you got. 6 or higher.
I got 2 over. I got 2 9s.
Okay. And then I roll to soak that. Alright, so it takes 1. Alright, now, Frazier.
Seeing that what's going on and Sage attack this thing, he wants to try and get a better angle on it, and then he's going to do the same thing.
Okay. So you are moving along. Let's say that because you were kind of sneaking, you can't get to it this round.
Okay.
But you are in a position where next round you can come in on its flank. Breaker. Your deer have fled.
Yeah. So then I'm continuing
Roll.
with the original plan to just charge at it then if
Okay.
there aren't there to corral towards it.
Roll your willpower, please. Difficulty 6.
Mm. I was really would have hoped for that for an attack roll. That's 5 successes.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of rough, like you're gonna do your bellow, and then it's like, oh, shit, okay, run. So you come charging up, and I will let you make an attack.
Okay, I'm still in Hispo, so I'm just gonna bite the damn thing.
Okay.
So that's 4 successes.
All right. Roll damage.
No, I need one more dice, excuse me.
So what? That'll be strength plus 5.
Strength
Strength
plus 5. Yeah.
2, and then plus 3 for the successes. Yep. So strength plus 5.
Roll all the dice. Just kidding, I have 3 more just in case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. 3
Okay.
successes
All right.
on my
So
bite.
your teeth sink into it, and you pull, and a piece of it pulls off with you. But it does seem to have soaked some of that.
I'm definitely spitting out any pieces that may be in my mouth. Just saying.
Excellent. And then finally we come to Linda, who was going to charge up an attack as well.
Yes. Sorry, I just took a drink real quick. Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of follow suit, but with a little bit of a different beat. I will also, as I'm in lupus now, I will spend the rage to go into Hispo
Okay.
because I want that sweet bite. But I'm gonna try and go a little bit more focused. Try and bite down on this thing's leg so that it can't get up. I want to like try and hamstring it.
Okay.
Which I think is a thing.
That there is a maneuver for that.
Oh, there is. Ah, yes, Dwayne. Making things difficult. Dex and Brawl. Difficulty 8/9?
Yes. 8 if you're using natural weapons, 9 if you're using a weapon, it looks like. So you are fighting into his foe's lower leg. The assailant tears out their tendons. So Dex plus Athletics difficulty 8 is what I need to avoid it. Yeah, so Dex plus Prod difficulty 8 for you.
I'm gonna spend a point of willpower.
Okay. Gives you 1 automatic success, plus whatever you roll.
It's 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, that is enough. So now you do strength in damage. Strength plus 1. Or sorry, plus 3 total with the bite damage from the Hispo.
Yes, because they get +1 die to bite.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just strength.
Yep.
Plus the 1 die. Okay. It's 1. Or wait, shit, I didn't change the difficulty. What was the difficulty for the...
Damage is only 6.
Gosh darn it, Dwayne. Gosh darn it, Linda. What's your difficulties rate? That's 2.
2 successes. All right. And I soak 2, so it doesn't do any damage. But you do have the chance to knock it down. And on that one, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Oh, and a 1, so 3 successes. So he does keep his feet.
Right.
And now we start a new round. Linda, what are you going to do?
Well, since I do already have my mouse on this guy's leg, we're gonna get crazy. I'm gonna shift, try and shake this thing like a something. I don't know. Probably just keep it in my mouth and then.
Okay, so
Scratch
we're
it
gonna
in
call that a jaw lock,
There you go.
which
That'll
is
work.
the next maneuver after the hamstring. So we'll go with that. Let's see, breaker,
I'm gonna bite the motherfucker.
bite again. All right. Frazier will be coming in from the side.
He gonna bite somebody.
You're gonna bite as well. All right. So, all right, it is going to do something. Keep it a little bit of a secret right now. Sage, continue to bite. Claws, what are you gonna do? We'll take this opportunity because you are in Krenos to remind you that you can split your pool. So you could claw and bite. Because you're doing 2 brawl-based attacks, you would take your dex brawl pool, and you would split it in half. And you could make 2 attacks, or you can spend a point of rage to get an extra full one with your full dice pool.
So yeah, my dice was 6 dice, isn't it?
5, I thought. Because you well, no. Maybe not.
5.
Hold on, let me look. Oh, pull up your sheet. I agree. So 3. Let's see, dex goes up by 1 when you're in Krenos, so you would go up to 3 plus 1 from your brawl would put you at 4, so you can do 2 and 2. Or you can do 4, spend a point of rage, and do 4.
2 and 2. Bite and what you said?
Bite and claw, or claw and claw, whichever. Just 2 attacks, basically.
I'm gonna do 2 claws because my damage is 8.
Okay. Go ahead and roll those 2 dice.
It's like I want to do the attacks that give me the most damage, even though it's only like 1 point difference. Sage is pissed. You guys. That is a 2 10s.
2 10s. All right. So that's 2 successes. So you will roll strength plus 2, I believe, on that. Because a claw is strength plus 1, and then you get an extra 1 for accuracy.
Alright, so that's still 2 dice.
Nope, strength. So you roll 6 plus 2.
I got 2 9s and 2 8s.
You do 4. Very nice. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dice. Sage, what
Yes?
is your current willpower?
There you go. 4.
4. Okay. So my difficulty is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Minus 2 gives me 2 successes. Okay. So as you are, because you're the first one to hit this thing, you've been up in its face. As you've been clawing at it, your pack mates coming in, tearing pieces out of it, grabbing onto its leg. The whole time it has been basically just laughing. And as you hit it once, it turns and locks eyes with you, and it says, "Isn't it so fun to give in?" And this is in your mind, and something snaps, and you enter a frenzy.
All right.
Which means that you will attack anything and everything that moves for the next few turns. So for the next couple turns, I'm going to tell you who you attack.
Okay.
All right. So that was its action. Frazier, come on in. Claws or bite?
We're gonna bite twice, and I think I'm gonna spend a rage point.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me that bite attack.
You said that was Dex or Strength?
That is Dex plus Brawl at a, I believe, a 6 for the bite.
Five for bite.
Oh,
5
5.
5 for a bite.
5 for a bite. Biting's easy.
Well, it does have the disadvantage of only being able to be used in 3 forms.
Yeah.
That's a 6.
6 successes?
Yeah.
Very nice. All right. So roll strength plus 7 for your damage.
Plus 7 dice.
Yep.
What form are you in?
Hispo.
He's been in Hispo.
That would be 2 because he gets the plus for Hispo, the plus for the regular bite plus.
So he gets 5 from the bite,
Okay.
and then 2 from Hispo.
Okay. Yep.
Or is it 3 from Hispo?
2 from Hispo.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So it's 1 for being Hispo and 1 for being a bite.
My
2
God.
total.
If the roller's correct, 14.
Yeah.
Werewolf dice pools are fun.
Except when you're like me and you only get 3 successes out of like 15.
15
Wow,
dice
so-
and 3 successes, yeah.
Don't worry, this is the best I'm going to do all game.
Back when I only needed 1, I got 5 successes out of.
Yeah, that's how it generally rolls.
And that is my first attack.
Yep, rage attacks are handled much like celerity in Vampire, where your second ones come at the end of the round.
Roger. I'll be right back, Screaming Baby.
What did you get for successes?
14.
Okay.
So you rolled 14 dice and got 14 successes?
No, he rolled 12 dice and got 14 successes.
Not possible.
He doesn't have
Yeah.
a spec in strength. So the 10s only explode when you have a specialty. So 12 successes. Okay, and I soaked 3. So that means I take 9. Okay, this thing is not looking super good right now. And that means that it is Breaker's turn. It's looking pretty rough. The ephemeral ectoplasma, whatever it is that makes up spirits, is starting to fray and tear on this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still biting it.
Light?
Still not gonna change my roll.
Nope, didn't figure so.
Was I able to hear what it did to Sage, or was that all in its head?
It was speaking in spirit, and they are the only one that has spirit speech, so they're the only one that could understand it.
Okay. I do have specialties in wolf tactics, so
That you do.
we're just going to move those out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
Yep.
And then
So strength plus 8? Yeah.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 successes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I soaked 4 of that. Linda. Let's do your jaw lock.
I was actually reading Jaw Lock, and that wouldn't make sense for the situation we're in. Because
Well, that's the neck, isn't it?
yeah.
All right, let's just do the hamstring again. That's probably
Ye-
closest.
Yeah, we'll try hamstring again. We'll try and bring this thing down.
Seems closest to what you're looking for.
That was difficulty 8.
Dex plus brawl, yes.
Oh. 2 successes.
Okay, so strength plus. Did you jump to Hispo?
Yes, I am in
Okay.
Hispo.
All right, so strength plus 3.
And that's a difficulty 6, right? That is 7.
7 successes. That is much more than the 2 that I had. So Linda, with her mouth still on the thing's leg, just rips it up, and you see that body slam down to the ground and just dissipate into nothingness. And that is when Sage attacks. Let's see.
Oh, shit.
That is when Sage attacks Linda. So go ahead and roll your attack.
Wouldn't this be a new turn?
Nope, because she spent a rage for 2 actions. Or sorry.
Okay, so that'd be 5 dice. Strength plus.
Yeah. 4 dice. Dex plus brawl. For the claw. Three successes. All right. So strength plus 3. For damage.
From strength, you add 1 more dice to it, or 2?
You'll roll your strength plus 3.
No, so it's 5 dice. Ten, 9, 8, 9.
Okay, so Linda, roll your stamina.
Of course.
4.
4. Okay, so Sage's claws hammer into the side of you, but the thick fur of your Hispo form, combined with just the tank-like his musculature of it, it just kind of knocks you kind of a little bit to the side.
Sage.
Now we go to the new round, and Sage, you can spend a willpower to end the frenzy.
I believe Frazier had spent a rage for a second attack.
Oh yes, Frazier, would you like to attack Sage? They did just attack
If
Linda.
it's okay, but I mean, I'm a werewolf. I know what rage is, right? Like I
Yes.
know
Yeah,
I know what's happening.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
like,
obvious that when they turn and swat Linda, that it's like, oh, okay, easy.
So he'll just like. I assume he's like more than 10 feet away, so he'll just like 10 feet and just like shoulder check, just try and not knock them away. Not trying to cause any real damage, just be like, hey, don't stop that.
Like, snap out of it.
Yeah, just like, no.
Stop
Werewolf version in those bad movies of slapping somebody across the face.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So that, I'm assuming, would snap them out of it. You spend a willpower to end the frenzy, Sage.
I will, yes.
Okay. And I think this is a good spot to take our break. because we're at about that time, aren't we?
Yes, we are. About two minutes.
So, how about we break here? We will be back in about 10 minutes, and then we will continue this episode of Over the River and Through the Woods. Welcome back to Vorpal Tales, Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th Anniversary, a rite of passage story that I call Over the River and Through the Wood. Welcome back. We had just had our pack run into their first umbral combat, where they faced off against a scrag, which is the spirit of murder. During that fight, Sage found out what frenzy feels like and took a swat at Linda. But luckily they were able to shake themselves out of it with a little help from Frazier. Now that the adrenaline and the rage is leaving your system, you have a chance to look around a little bit more, and what you find is that you guys seemingly missed something. It's time for a major chaos roll. So, Dwayne, why don't you roll for me?
What am I rolling?
You're rolling a D10.
Oh. 5.
5, all right. And what you see is a log cabin.
Okay. I don't know how we missed that.
It's kind of set into the edge of the clearing. The caribou must have blocked it, and then the razor covered gorilla.
These fucking gorillas and their fucking log cabins. I'm gonna sniff at it and see if it has any potential smells using heightened senses.
You know the roll, so go ahead and roll it for me, please.
Damn it, I should have... 2 successes.
2 successes, okay. It definitely smells like it has been lived in, but it doesn't smell like anyone is in there currently.
When you say bed and lived in, do I have any idea of, like, is it any idea of what type of being lived in it?
Human? With 2 successes, it's a little hazy. You don't smell anything that is weird. It smells of man, but that's about as clear as you can get at this point.
So I can't tell the difference between like a young man in his 20s who plays a lot of beer pong through Zoom and an old lady.
Not with 2 successes.
Not with 2 successes. All right. I'm going to kind of... I'm just going to go right over.
Okay. So you go over and you climb up on the porch, and you just find that the front door is not latched. It's ajar, so you could nose it open.
Gonna paw at it and push
it, knock it
and,
open,
and trot right the fuck in.
Okay, you walk in and you come face to face with a mountain lion, and it is full pounce mode, frozen in time. And as you look around, you see that there's a stuffed bear over there. There's a fox pouncing on a bunny on a shelf up above the fireplace. There's a pheasant that looks like it's about to pounce on another pheasant over there. There are taxidermied stuffed creatures everywhere in this place. The centerpiece of the dining room table has a full-on wolf.
Hold on. Let me.
Welcome to a roll of a 5 on the.
Yeah, I was about to ask. What's the difficulty for that? What's the difficulty on that?
Or what?
I'm guessing.
Oh,
this
you.
Is...
Oh, you gain a point of rage. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, it's not. There's not an actual frenzy check. I just gain a point of rage.
No. No
okay.
frenzy check. Just you gain a point of rage.
And I imagine I gained a point of rage at the start of the combat we had.
Yeah, you didn't spend any, did you?
I did not spend any.
Okay. Everybody that enters the cabin gets a point of rage.
Anything more so because of the fact that as a lupus, I see this as a hunter who.
No, because at that point, Sage gets another pull. And you hear Kiva whisper, "There's something outside." Something big is coming.
Friend or foe?
With these, it's hard to tell. And then Kiva's gone again.
Something's coming. Big.
Well, that's rather discerning. How big? Like as big as that thing that we just fought?
I don't know. Kiva said. I don't think I've ever actually told you about Kiva, but just, they just say, Kiva said something's outside. It's big. And she's not sure if it's friend or foe. I'm going to change out of Krynos and go into Lupus.
Okay. You are not in any kind of a rush or stress or danger here, so I'll say you just do it because you've got the time that it takes to shift over. If anybody else wants to switch forms, feel free to do so at this point.
I will stay as I am.
I am good.
Okay.
I'll shift down to Lupus.
Yep, because you were in Hispo before.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Sage and Breaker in Lupus, and Fraser and Linda in Hispo. And now you guys hear you hear sounds from outside that you hadn't heard before. It sounds like that small herd of caribou is returning, but they've brought reinforcements. It sounds like a large herd of caribou is approaching.
I'm going to do another sniff test. To see if anything smells off.
Okay.
My dice don't like me tonight, apparently. These dice might have to go to dice jail, because that's one success.
One success, okay. It smells like caribou. Nothing strange jumps out at you. And you guys hear, has anybody ever heard a caribou cry? Like a reindeer?
Yeah.
It's like a scream, it's terrifying. And you hear that, this bugling call, that's this warbling roar kind of sound. But within that, Sage hears words. And Sage hears, "Come out. I mean you no harm."
Sage will come out and say, hello.
So Sage steps out onto the little porch in front of this little log cabin and sees that the clearing is absolutely full of caribou spirits, and standing in the midst of them is what they can only assume is an incarna of caribou, because it is a caribou that is 10 to 12 foot tall at the shoulders, its head easily close to 20 feet, with this huge rack of antlers reaching up to 20 feet tall. Head held up with that kind of almost that beard flowing down the front of it. The epitome of every caribou or reindeer that you have ever seen in any Christmas movie, only more. And it cocks its head. "You protected my herd. Call your friends. I would see all of you."
Guys, come on out. It's fine. Breaker.
Just as a clarification, so that was not animal speak, it was
Spirit speak.
okay.
Linda will come lumbering out.
And as you guys all come out, you see this huge, majestic caribou, and each of you get a kind of a nod of its head, as if it's bowing to you in respect.
Sage will bow back. Show equal respect.
I sense that your pack is without a totem. You are now my children.
Thank you.
So,
Just tilts his head.
I'm assuming that Sage is going to translate this.
Yes.
Okay.
Translating.
So long as you follow my rules, and so long as you are on this island, you are under my protection. Do not harm the young. Do not harm pups. Do not harm fawns. Do not harm babies. And do not harm pregnant mothers. So long as you obey my ban, I will guide you. So in mechanical terms, what that means is that you each get a effective +2 to any survival checks. So you're treated as if you have survival +2. And as long as you do not harm a baby human, animal, defenseless child, or a pregnant woman or creature, you have that as long as you're on the island. And I understand, Or you must be here for a reason. What is your reason for being here on my island?
Storyteller, what was the sept we were from again? What was it called?
You were from the sept of the Countless Lakes, I believe is what we had called it.
We are from the sept of the Countless Lakes, and we are here on a rite of passage. We were sent to find out what happened to grandmother because she hadn't been communicating, so we were sent to find out what might have happened to her.
She has been taken.
Taken. What happened?
The worm came. And a caribou drops its head and noses one of the smaller caribou spirits. And the rest of them draw back from that one. I will take you to where they took her.
Yeah, translating. Thank you.
Gives another bow of the head and then turns and begins to walk away. And as they go, the herd flows with them, aside from the one that just looks at you.
Breaker's head is absolutely tilted as far as it can the other way.
So what happened?
The spirit just turns and trots off. Stops and looks back, as if to indicate to follow.
I will follow the spirit.
Okay. Does everybody follow the spirit?
Linda will follow Sage.
Okay. So the spirit bounds off through the woods, and with it in the lead, you guys fly through this wood. You don't leave the ground necessarily, but it leads you through the paths that these caribou have made across this island for generations. And shortly, you begin to see signs that the wood that you had seen at the north end of the island when you landed, how it was pristine and how it was untouched. Now you begin to see spiderwebs appearing here and there. And as you move further, the caribou that was leading you begins to slow down, and it begins to pick its steps carefully and move with a little bit more stealth. All of you, I'm assuming, follow its lead?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. And soon you...
Absolutely.
Breaker is probably the first one to pick it up. You begin to smell those telltale smells of society. You begin to smell... In the Umbra, it doesn't really have a specific scent. It's just there. And you just know it when you smell it. But the cobwebs get thicker and thicker. They're not as thick as they are in the city, but they're definitely thicker than what you've experienced for the last few hours. So it's a noticeable change. Before too long, it stops and it lowers its head. And as you look over in the direction that it is looking, you see I guess it would be best described as if you've ever seen a radar dome at like an airport or a weather station. It's got that geodesic form. You essentially see that made of webbing. And it turns and looks at Sage. This is there.
That's where they took grandmother?
Yes.
Thank you.
And at your thanks, it turns and fades away into the forest once more.
That's where they took her. Sage will get a little closer. And say, grandmother?
Nothing.
Looking at this, kind of when I use my common sense, Merritt, would I have an idea of the best way to destroy this?
With that merit and with your knowledge of the Umbra, you know that things here are not always as they would appear in the physical realm. You know that the Umbra is very much a realm of it's almost surreal, and it's very much more or it's very much removed from literal meanings. So here things will have that spiritual imprint, and a spiritual imprint may look very different from what you would see in the physical realm. Especially when you get into dealing with Weaver shit, as they put it. Like when you're in the wilderness and when you're in the wild, that stuff translates pretty much 1-to-1. A tree in the physical world is a tree in the Umbra. But when you start getting into technological stuff, that's when that 1-to-1 goes away. Zach.
Do we know if grandmother, were we told if grandmother is in the Umbra or in the physical realm?
You weren't told that at all. They just said, find her and find out what's going on.
Oh, but the caribou that led us here.
Oh no, the caribou spirit that led you here was a Jagling. It's basically they get given a purpose, and that's the extent of their knowledge. It was given a purpose. It was imbued with the purpose of bringing you here. You've got to step up in spiritual power to get up to that incarna level that you saw earlier in order for it to really have a full mind.
Okay. Is there a way into this thing that we've been pointed at?
Do you want to do a lap around it?
Do I see anything that appears to be guarding it?
You didn't see anything, but the way the caribou was moving, you would assume that it was avoiding guards that you didn't necessarily spot or notice.
Okay. Yes. So I'll do the. I'm gonna look for guards and then do a lap around looking for a way in.
Okay. Give me a perception alertness with your bonuses.
So, because some storytellers handle it differently, I'm going to ask this question. Is it 1-1? Or, like, if you get a 1, does it matter how many ones? Or if it's just 1-1, or all ones reduce 1 success? Or is it like a 1-to-1 thing? For example, If I just rolled 2 6s, a 7, and 3 1s, is that 0 successes or 2 successes?
So 2 6s, a 7, and 3 1s.
3 1s.
That's 0 successes.
Yep, I got 0 successes.
Okay, then
Some dice are going to jail.
you have not been having great luck after that first roll tonight. So when you get your new dice, give me a Dex Stealth, because I'm assuming you're, regardless of what you smelled, you are going to be moving cautiously around this thing.
Okay. Dex, and you said stealth.
Yes, please.
Difficulty?
6.
6 successes.
Okay. You drop to the ground and disappear into the woods just as quickly and effectively as that caribou did. And only a few short minutes later, the rest of you find Breaker standing next to you on the other side of you. You made an entire circuit of the place, and you did spot guard spirits, but they didn't spot you, and you did not see any kind of a break in this shell. After your complete circuit, you are pretty sure that it is a shell of spider webs over something. It's too thick for you to tell what's inside of it, but it is a shell over something.
And you said so there was not a way in then?
Not that you saw, no.
Not that I saw. So, unless we rip through the web, or dig under, there's not a way in on this side. I have to cross back over and check that side out, maybe. Or we could just rip. That's how we could rip through it. We could try to rip through it. There's some spirits watching. We'd have to kill them.
Well, they're of the worm, so I don't think we'd have a problem with that.
Yeah, they're not good spirits.
Well,
I mean, we do, like, if this is a spider, this is a spider spirit, I'm guessing. If it works like it does in the other realm, in the physical realm, if we go and start tearing at the spider web, the spider spirit will know we're plucking at its strands.
Fuck the Weaver. So that's okay with me.
No, Sage, you do know that you can peek through the gauntlet. It's difficult, but it can be done.
All right.
So you can kind of peek over to the other side. It is a Gnosis roll versus the local gauntlet, which is a 5 here. It's hold on a second. It'd be a 7 here because it's the gauntlet plus 2 to peek through, if I remember correctly.
It's still only 5 with all this Weaver shit.
Oh, hold on, let me.
Damn it, I probably shouldn't have said anything, should I?
Always a good idea to give the ST ideas when you're the ST. When you're the player, not so much. Gauntlet +3. And what did I have this place at? We're going to put this at a rural countryside, so it has 6, so it'd be a 9 to peek through.
Wait.
But because you're not trying to actually traverse the gauntlet, you only need the 1 success.
Okay. So I'm only one of my 3 Gnosis dice.
Or for Linda, it'd be a 7.
Yeah, because I have my glasses.
Mm-hmm. And I'm envisioning that is you have to do this or this to do the peak. You've got to do that.
I mean, she's still in not
Still in Hispo.
Well, I mean,
He doesn't have hands.
You got to do the puppy Horatio thing from CSI Miami, and
Yeah. Yeah, I can do it if Sage doesn't want to do it. Either way.
I mean, if you're going to have an easier time doing it, then you should do it.
Then I shall. There's Gnosis, correct?
Yes. And it is your permanent Gnosis, not your current Gnosis.
That is 4 successes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Linda brings her glasses down a little bit with her paw and peeks through. So, in the physical realm, what you see is a little kind of almost like a concrete and tin hut. And on the front of it is a set of elevator doors and a keypad off to the side. And this is on top of a probably 30-foot across circular pad of concrete.
That's weird.
What's weird?
It looks like there's some kind of underground facility on the other side. Looks like elevator doors, maybe a helicopter landing pad, maybe.
This is in the center of that.
Oh, in the center. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Scratch
Are there-
that second part.
Are there people?
No.
Not that I saw.
Well, we don't have to make a door that way. And there's no guards. That sounds easier.
That it does. However, there is a keypad on that door. So it'll be a little difficult, but easier than this.
What's a keypad?
It's a keypad is you know what a lock is, right?
It shouldn't be a problem for Fraser.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll out.
Got it, Alpha.
And I'm not gonna wait. I'm just gonna go and hop on through. No, I am not.
Jeez.
So the
Is
gauntlet
the
is a
difficulty here
6 here.
Well, it's going to take a minute because I only got one success.
One success. Okay. Yeah, it takes you a couple minutes.
Those dice are going in jail too.
So either one person roll for the rest of the group, or everybody roll separately.
What are we rolling?
You are rolling your Gnosis rating at a difficulty of 6. Or you're grabbing a hold of
Or you can
Sage
grab.
or Linda, and they're pulling you with them.
I would like to grab a hold of somebody. My Gnosis is 3. I would appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Sage will grab you.
Really? We're going in there? Shit. That's not something I'm not good at that.
Shut up.
Okay.
I got 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. So the rest of you pop through and are confronted with, as I described, a big concrete pad, and in the center of it is what looks like a little hutch or a hut with elevator doors and a keypad. You guys move up to it and are in the midst of inspecting it. Particularly, I'm assuming Fraser will be interested in this.
Now that key, the keypad, I can do that. Ooh, cell phone? Anyone? Cell phone?
No one has a cell phone.
Then I'll just try and plug and play the pad then.
Okay.
Do you have open seal?
I do have that as well. Plug and play just works though. Or should just work. Maybe it just works.
Plug and play, I believe you have to have, that just allows you to use one computer to control, or one technological object to control another. Whereas open seal is specifically opening locks and locked doors.
Mm-hmm. So what should I roll?
Gnosis.
Open seal. Whatever you need for open seal.
Open seal. Roll your Gnosis. Difficulty 6.
Okay. Is that the current or maximum?
It's your maximum.
Okay.
Did you spend Gnosis?
I didn't
Not
have
the same.
He's
I didn't
been
have a lot
down
of Gnosis
since
to begin with.
Yeah. He was at essentially 0 Gnosis when he was imprisoned.
No, but he didn't get it back throughout the journey.
You have to either meditate or, eat something in the spirit realm.
That's not right. 1 success looks like.
That's all you need.
Alrighty.
Fraser walks up, places his hand on the keypad, puts his head down and concentrates for a second, and the elevator doors slide open. At about this point is when Breaker appears behind you.
Jesus, what? Oh, hi, Breaker.
Good job. Let's go.
Nice of you to join us.
Oh, thanks. Scared the shit out of me. Jesus. Okay, alright. You're really good at sneaking. God damn.
Just gonna walk into the now open doors.
Do all 4 of you get in?
Fraser not wanting to step on toes. He's just gonna let Breaker do that and think that. He's gonna say, you might want to watch out for traps and stuff. A lot of these places have sensors triggering guns. I'm not sure how much we care about that, but still fucking hurts.
So then we should start stealthing then.
So we should be on our, like, we should at least be observant.
Is still in lupus form and just kind of gives that dog head tilt. Like, what the fuck?
I'm just saying, keep an eye out.
So all four of you step into the elevator, and you see that there is either an up or a down button, and that's it.
Well, we can't go up.
He
So
looks at the roof of the building. Well, shit. Sorry, Linda.
I guess it's down.
Hit the button, and the elevator begins to descend. And it goes quickly. You can feel the floor nearly drop out from underneath of you. It's an odd sensation, especially for Breaker, since he's not spent a whole lot of time in elevators. You understand the concept of them, but this is probably your first time really being in one. And it goes down and down and down, and it feels like you're traveling into the center of the earth before you suddenly feel as if you're considerably heavier, and it comes to a stop. John, roll a
Yes,
d10 for me.
absolutely. I'd love to.
This time
Okay.
for another chaos.
7.
Thank you. Who is this one from? This is from Twin Dad Twitches.
Oh, hell yeah.
David.
7. Oh, perfect. The doors slide open, and before you see a large coffee house with live music, but the band is a ska band. Okay, so the elevator doors slide open, and you see
Is it good or bad, Scott?
smell. Well,
Is there a difference?
I was just gonna say, is there really?
They're playing old No Doubt covers.
Old No Doubt covers. Yes, that's exactly it. So the doors slide open, and on the left you see a bar, but it is clearly the bar for a coffee shop. And you see all of the equipment, and you smell that aroma of roasted beans, and you smell the steamed milk, and all of those wonderful aromas that you get hit with whenever you walk into a place that does their own grinding and all of that stuff. And then off to the right is a stage upon which a band is playing ska music.
Okay, I was not expecting this.
And then directly ahead of you, on the other side of that, is another set of doors. There's nobody in here except for the band that's on stage.
Which No Doubt song are they playing?
Hold.
I'm heading
We need-
Spiderwebs,
Straight-
obviously.
Huh?
Spiderwebs, obviously.
Breaker is heading straight for the doors, growling the whole time.
Hold on. I need coffee, okay? It's been a week. Can we just stay here in this room? That'd be great. Thanks.
You're putting Weaver drugs in your body.
Oh, wait, shit. That's probably poison, isn't it?
Tell you what,
Damn it. The Weaver
for-
fucks up coffee, too. Jesus Christ.
Fraser.
Why?
Fraser.
Yeah, yep, I'm listening.
When we're out of here and we're home, I will take you to get you some coffee.
Oh, thank God.
Tell you what. I will buy you one copy for every day we were doing this.
I tell you what, we'll go back and forth. I'll pay for half. I'm good for that.
All right.
It sounds
It's
like
a
a
deal.
wonderful time. Thank you. Okay, all right. Fucking goddamn bullshit. Fucking up my coffee. All right.
You remember the last time you tried to buy something? What happened after that?
Well, this time we'll have money.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's not
I'll
like I
make sure
don't
of it.
have money, okay? Like, I lost it somewhere between, like, the fucking loggers and the cage. All right, I mean, it's not like I'm broke. All right,
This place isn't good. Let's get going and find grandmother.
fucking,
So
I'm gonna
you
kill him.
push
I'm gonna fucking
push
kill him.
through the double doors on the other side, and you find that this was essentially just the apparently the entryway in the break room to some sort of a almost like a laboratory, and it smells of sterility and chemicals. And you make your way down the hallway with all of you, your nails clicking on the tile floor. And there's empty offices, and you can smell the smell of paper and dust, and it smells like this place has been abandoned for quite some time.
You can't tell if the growl that Breaker makes when seeing the laboratory it is more hostile than it was from the coffee shop ska band, but he growls nonetheless.
So you push through, searching through rooms, going down some stairs to a deeper level until you come to a door that you can smell life behind.
What
Pushing through
kind of smell?
blood and metal.
Death?
With the scent of true form, am I? Well, actually, I should roll.
Question mark?
Well, that you actually have to like see somebody and then you get an
Oh.
idea of it. So yeah. But yeah, no, you don't smell death. But you do smell not even fear, you smell pain. Pushing through the door, you come into what could only be described as an operating theater. And instead of there being like a gurney that is somebody would be laying on, you see the form of a withered old lady chained to the wall with chains of silver. She appears to be unconscious. There is blood, or like you could tell that there was blood on the floor at one point, but it's not there now. And you see that she has some bandages on her arms, but her torso is covered by essentially a hospital gown. But before you have a chance to approach her or examine her, a woman in a pencil skirt and a white blouse with a necklace and her hair pulled up in a bun and high heels steps out of the shadows, her heels clicking on the tile as she steps out in front of her. I was wondering when someone would show up looking for the old woman. Are you the rescue party then?
I'm ignoring this bitch and running over and shifting into Krynos and trying to pull one of the chains out of the wall.
Okay, let's go initiative then. So again, a
All of it?
D10 plus your dex and your wits combined.
This is the second time tonight that I've rolled a 1 on initiative.
So that gives you you had a 9 before?
Yeah.
16.
10. And I would like to be right behind Frazier, and I'm going to open the seal on another of the locks.
Okay, so you're 10 and you want to open the seal. Okay. Linda was at a 9. Sage.
You're muted.
8.
8. Okay, Breaker.
16.
Nice. Where am I? Okay. Sage, what are you going to do? What's your action? You're muted. There you go.
My action is I'm going to assist Breaker and Fisher in getting grandmother down.
Okay, so you want to move and to try and free grandmother.
Yes.
Okay. Linda?
Yeah, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I mean, forget this woman.
Okay.
Unless some other guys show up.
Okay. And Breaker, free grandma. Okay, perfect. All right. So I beat you all in initiative, so I go first. Hold on a second. Let me find my nasty girl. There you are. Okay, so as you all essentially start to or begin to step forward, you see her form shift and twist, and she grows into a Krynos form werewolf of her own.
Oh?
Only her fur is pitch black, streaked with like this weird green, the same green as Dwayne's drink. Down her throat and down her chest is what probably at one point was white fur, but now it has taken on this strange greenish tint. And she shifts into her Krynos form. And just at that point, you get that flash of a look at her, and then the lights go out. So, Breaker, give me a perception and alertness at 8, please. -2 to 6 for your heightened senses. As you try to move across the room without running into her. Oh, welcome, McStabber Studios. Thank you for the raid. I don't know how long ago that was. This is the first time I've looked at Twitch in a while.
Yeah.
Breaker, how many?
Hi, McStabber Studios. Thanks for coming and watching as I botch.
Oh, you're
Thank
fine.
you, Mixer Studio.
Okay. So you charge forward, and you are still in your lupus form?
I'm still in my lupus form, yes.
Okay. So you charge forward and you slam into something. Based on the give, you think that you just ran into her leg.
I'm going to spend a rage.
Nope, you're done because you
Oh.
botched.
Well, no, I mean, like, okay. We have gained a rage because this is a new combat.
Yeah. Yes, everybody gains a rage because this is the first round of in combat. And Frazier, I need a. Well, unless you want to try to change your action, I will need a perception plus alertness at difficulty 8 to make your way across the pitch black room towards grandmother without running into something.
It's hard because I have 3 dice in that roll.
And that's something where your character very well could just go, shit, and change action to do something else. And that is something that you can do. You just have to succeed at a willpower roll, basically to think quick enough on your feet to make that change on the fly.
He still wants to go after grandmother, but he knows that this new opponent is probably somewhere in the middle of the room, so he's gonna just follow the wall around.
Okay.
And try and skirt the outside of the wall, because he knows, like, if he follows the wall, he'll eventually get to her, and not like run straight into whoever's in the middle.
I'll
of the
give
room.
you a -1 to your difficulty on that because you guys literally got a split second to really look at this room before the lights went out.
Okay, so willpower, is that, do I roll my
Willpower
entire
gives-
willpower dice?
A spend a point of willpower gives you 1 automatic success, so it means you cannot botch the roll,
Okay.
and you cannot fail the roll. You automatically succeed. It's just a matter of how well you succeed.
All right,
From
and
there.
then what should I roll for making
You
my way
roll-
around?
So you roll the perception and alertness.
Okay. I clicked a little too fast there. I got 1 success.
Okay, 1 success gets you across the room, but it is not enough to be able to continue to enact your plan.
Fair.
And Linda.
I will, even through the darkness,
Okay, you give me that roll.
I will push on.
Perception, alertness at an 8.
Perception. Go. That's a botch.
You charge forward, and much like your pack mate, Breaker, you slam into the form of a werewolf in Krenos.
Wait a second, hold on. Why did I roll? Didn't roll enough dice. You owe me 1 die. Hold on, let's see if I. Nope. Okay, still a botch.
All right, so you charge forward and slam into her is your best guess. And Sage. Darkness. Do you want to change up what you're doing, or do you want to move across the room as you initially planned?
the quickest way to from one point to the other is a straight line.
Yep. Okay. Perception.
You can't
plus
have 3
alertness.
people botch on this in a row.
Yeah,
Can
we
we?
can't. It can't happen. Add an 8, please.
By the way, last time I said that.
All right, so I am rolling.
Perception plus alertness. Add an 8.
Wait, perception. Cool. So, just 3 dice? Or is it... Wait, hold on. Because I'm in lupus. Do I add anything?
The 8 is including your lupus. -2.
So, I roll 3 dice, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Two successes.
Okay. So you dart across the room, hearing the sound of your packmates' paws skittering on the tile and stopping. You kind of lead yourself a little bit to the left instead, and you come against that back wall, and you can feel the form of grandmother hanging just to your right. So, how would you like to try to free her?
What would common sense tell me to do?
Considering you don't have any hands right now?
Yeah.
It
Like
would,
turn it to Hamid.
no,
Not Hamid, Krinos?
Krinos, and
Krinos.
try to break these chains, because you don't have any way to
I'm gonna
unlock the locks or anything like that.
I'm gonna do
you're-
that.
Yeah, so your common sense would tell you to wolf out and break the chains.
Right. I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So give me a stamina plus primal urge to change shape, please.
Stamina plus primal urge.
And you are in lupus right now, so
Mhm.
it'd be a difficulty of 6. And you need 3 successes. I believe.
Two successes.
So that gets you into Hispo.
Okay.
And that is where we're going to call your turn. So, next round. Sage, you're gonna try to get into Krinos and try to break the chains?
Yes. When I can get there, yes.
Okay. Linda, what are you gonna do? You are right up against her as far as you can tell.
Well, I mean, if I'm up against this woman, then I'm going to try and take her to the ground so the rest can...
Okay. So you want to try the hamstring?
Yeah, we'll do the hamstring again, because that's worked fairly well.
Okay. Frazier.
Try to open the seal on these locks.
Okay. And Breaker.
I am going to attempt to shift into Krynos and grapple her from behind.
Okay. So you want to do a
And,
clinch or a hold or something like that?
Well, so I'm first going to establish the grapple, and I'm going to be spending a rage for an extra action.
Okay.
And since it's the initial establishing of the grapple,
Mhm.
there wouldn't be a cinch. But essentially, he's just trying to kind of come up from behind her and give her a big old bear hug.
Okay.
So that she can't swing her arms, and that his body is not in front of her for her to bite him.
Okay. Sounds good. And then, me. What am I gonna do? Yeah, I think she's gonna do this. Okay. So, because she goes first, I'll just tell you what happens. So, what you see, especially those of you that are right there next to her, is from that green, kind of greenish colored fur on her chest, kind of wrapped up almost like it was the opposite of her little black bow that she had on her white blouse. You see fire flame out, but it's the same color as that fur. So this greenish flame just bursts out from that and actually covers her entire body. So she becomes shrouded in this green flame, which lights up the room with this sickly green color, and the flickering of the flames actually becomes almost disconcerting, because out of the corner of your eye it seems like there's things kind of coming at you, almost out of the corner of your eyes, out of the shadows everywhere in the room. So all attacks against her suffer a 1-die penalty, and if you hit her, I will need you to take 1 level of unsoakable bashing damage. And and you also begin to hear whispered taunts coming from the shadows. And everybody requires 1 fewer success to frenzy. So if I call for a frenzy, which means that you roll your rage, you normally need 4 successes. Now you only need 3 because of these taunts. Okay, Breaker,
Yes,
you were gonna try to clinch her.
I still am. Do you want a primal urge and stamina roll to see if I can get into Krynos?
Yes, either that or spend a point of rage. It's up to you.
Yep, I don't have a specialty. I don't have a specialty in stamina. Hold on, wait, that doesn't make sense.
You did. I thought it was like tireless or resilient or something like that.
Yeah, that wouldn't help for switching to shapes, I'm guessing.
What did you put?
Either way, I got enough successes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got plenty of dice in that, so especially, yeah.
You know,
Alright, so
I've had plenty of dice before.
Yes, that's true. That is true. Yes. Tonight has been a prime example of sometimes those huge dice pools don't necessarily help all that much.
And we're in a situation where I had to bring the dice out of jail because I did not have enough of the same dice for this to work.
Uh-oh.
All right. So
Okay.
I need the grapple roll then.
Yes.
Okay. So it's 4 of those bad boys and his grapple strength, right?
Yeah, we'll say it's strength.
2, 5, need 1 more. It was the flame thing. Was that -1 die to attack?
Yes.
Or...
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to take away one of the successful dice then. And that is 4 successes.
Okay. She is not trying to dodge you, so I'll say you grab her without any issue. But then you're going to try to like hold her.
So yeah, this is so with a grapple, you can try to either crush in a clinch or immobilize in a hold. So by immobilizing is the idea.
Okay.
The idea is to come around her and just wrap her up so that she can't go anywhere. She's got to break out from me before doing anything.
Okay, so on her turn, she would have to break out to do something.
Yep.
Okay.
If we want to do damage, since I'm wrapping her like this, then we could say that the claws pierce her to kind of hold things in place. But the idea behind it is just that she isn't going anywhere. Good?
Yes, good. You take 1 point of unsoakable bashing damage
Okay.
from getting right up in those flames.
Worth it.
We'll see if you feel that way later. Okay, so
Combat
that was
heal, it's fine.
Breaker. Fraser.
Knowing I was going to say, knowing Breaker, the answer is still going to be yes.
Fraser was going to take a drink there. Oh, jeez. I'm glad I didn't. Fraser, I'm assuming, is right next to who we think is Grandma now, right?
Yes.
So he's just going to try and open the seal, and then if he can, he would also like to spend a rage and do it again on the other one.
You can use that rage action for an attack, not for the use
An
of
attack. Okay. So not utilitarian. Has to be an attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll open the seal.
Okay, so on down here, we are in a science lab, so your difficulty is 9 on that open the seal.
Oh, that's fun. Would I know that before I rolled? Like, would my character know that?
You know that it is going to be harder to do in a place like this, yes.
Okay, then he'll spend a point of willpower on it.
Okay.
And for this one, excuse me, I had the entire time I knew what I was doing. I'm gonna open the seal, and I didn't look it up.
It's
Sorry.
Gnosis.
No, just the Gnosis roll?
Just,
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just your Gnosis at the Gauntlet rating, so 9.
Alright. That's a 3 right there. Alright. Willpower was spent.
That's one automatic success.
Yeah, I can't tell. Like, I forgot to change the difficulty. That's my fault. We get an initiative. My brain starts going. So 2. 1 natural and then willpower success on top of that.
You grab a hold of that lock and will the spirit within it to release, and it does.
Alright.
And that brings us to Linda. You have 1 fewer dice to your attack roll. So you're going to roll that Dex plus Brawl at, I believe it was a 7 for the hamstring.
Well, a lot of things have happened since then.
Oh, would you like to change?
I am going to change.
Okay, make a willpower roll. Difficulty 6 for me.
Since she is already restrained, then why not just take it home? That's 7 successes.
Okay. What would you like to change your action to?
A lot of things. Yeah, so seeing that Breaker has moved in behind her and that the room is now lit and I can actually see, I will spend the rage to go to Krenos.
Yep.
Dwayne clicks the buttons. And then I will go for that juicy solar plexus area
Juicy.
with a nice claw to the gut.
Alrighty. So -1 die for that roll. And that's going to be your Dex plus Brawl at a 6.
That is 3 successes.
He's not dodging, so roll Strength plus 3 for your damage. And I will roll to soak.
Seven.
7. Okay. You take 1 level of unsoakable bashing.
Ow.
And your claws dig in, but not as deeply as you would have anticipated.
DM, real quick.
Yep.
When I use open the seal on a lock, that is specifically, how are these chains attached to the wall? Like, did I get, like, is there a lock on the other side of the chain as well? Do they come off the wall?
No, they're like welded into a eyelet.
Okay,
on the
so
wall.
so screws and weld. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I had an idea. Sorry.
Oh, not a problem. Okay, so that was that. Sage. Give me that stamina primal urge to get you from Hispo into Karinos.
Three successes.
3 successes. Okay, you are in Krenos. So now roll me your strength.
Tito.
Or actually, wait, what's your strength when you're in Krenos? 6?
Yeah, my initial is 2, and it goes up by 2, right?
No, Krenos goes up by
4.
4.
But yeah, that'd be 6.
Okay, so we're going to call this a feat of strength. So at a 6, you are not strong enough on your own to break these chains because they are specifically designed to hold werewolves. So instead, what you're going to do is you are going to make a willpower roll difficulty of 8, and every success will increase your effective strength by 1.
Hell yeah.
Because you are literally willing yourself to be strong enough to break these chains.
find it later. 2 successes.
Okay. I put it at an 8, so you break that chain. And now it's time for me to take my rage action. Yeah, here we go. So that's all right. So the rest of you are kind of busy with grandmothers. So Breaker is really the only one that sees this. So what you see, Breaker, is that Linda's there as well. Sorry. So Linda and Breaker are the only ones that see this. She's standing there with Linda's claws in her stomach, and she looks down at you, and then she turns her head, and she kind of looks over her shoulder at Breaker, and she smiles. And as she does that, pulling her lips back from her teeth, you see, what am I rolling here? Stamina plus primal urge. I'll find that one later. Take a key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minus 1, 4. Okay. You see the teeth in her mouth begin to split and split and split and split. And soon, instead of just having 2 canines, she's got like an entire mouthful, both top and bottom. And her jaw extends and elongates until she's got like the mouth of a great white shark. And just all of those teeth. So that's her first rage action. Breaker.
So which way did she turn to look at me? So
you're behind her.
Yeah,
and you're
bear hugged.
Yep. So your head is kind of like right here. So she went like this so that she could kind of, because of course she's got that dog neck.
Yeah.
So she can actually kind of turn and look back at you, and that's where you see the teeth and the mouth just shift and grow.
All right. So for this rage action, I'm going to just bite into her neck.
Okay, you're gonna bite her.
If her head is turned and she's looking over here at me, and this is my
You
head,
just want to kind of.
and I'm coming in like this.
Yep, you just want to get right in there.
Get all up in that shit.
Get all up in that shit. Roll.
So
Difficulty 5.
Do I take another damage because this is another attack?
If you hit, yes.
I have to hit. Okay.
Yeah.
Do I still have the minus?
Actually, no, because you are holding on to her. I'm going to say it's automatic for you.
Okay. Does that damage apply before? So that damage already applied though for grabbing her, right? So another attack.
Good point.
Would that other attack gain another damage? No.
If you hit, yes.
Okay.
Because I don't want to penalize you for grappling her. Every hit, I'll just keep it at every hit. You take the damage.
Okay. Where was I?
Because grabbing her is a good tactic.
Yep.
Regardless.
For the purposes of my brawl specialty, Kranos does not count as wolf form. Is that correct?
I believe that we said it was going to be Lupus and Hispo.
Fair enough. Figured I'd ask before rolling.
Yep.
I didn't get any 10s. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
1, 2. You said 5, right? 1, 2,
Yep.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
Okay, so strength plus 9. No, strength plus 8 damage.
God, I love the sound of that. Strength plus 8. There's something just nasty about that.
Well, then
So
when
did
your strength is a 6 or a 7, it's
Yeah.
14 or 15 dice.
Do strength rolls also
Let's
have the
get it.
-1, or is it just the attack roll?
Just the attack roll
Okay.
has the -1.
Mother. Apparently, I got all the. Hold on. 1, 2, 3,
All your
4,
successes are on the hit.
5. Well, I mean, I got more successes on less dice. Significantly. Like, 4 less dice. 5 successes total.
Okay, and she soaked 5. So the bite gets in there, but it's not enough to puncture her skin. And you take 1 point of unsoakable bashing damage.
Yep.
Okay.
Got it marked.
All right. So now, for her second rage action, she is going to bite you back.
Nom, nom,
If I'm
nom.
biting her neck, how
So
does that?
you bit and
I-
pulled.
I couldn't resist. I'm
Anyway.
sorry.
She'll bite Linda instead. Good point. You're behind her. She'll bite Linda instead.
Sorry, Linda.
Not with my kung fu skills, she won't. If I had kung fu skills.
All right. So
What's that line? What's that line on your page say? Kung fu. Bitch, get some.
Everyone was kung fu fighting, y'all. It's fine.
Hell yeah. They were fast as lightning.
all right. So she got 6 successes to hit. So she's going to do strength plus. She's just in Krenos. Oh, wait. I activated that gift. Hold on. All right. Player spends 1 rage point, rolled stamina plus primal urge. Did that. Enjoys a +3 damage dice on bite attacks until
God.
the gift runs out. Okay. So she gets
Strength plus 5?
strength plus 3. Because basically just makes it 1 more than the Hispo. It's not on top of the 1 that she already gets. But
okay.
but she did get 6 successes to hit you, so that's 5 plus 3, so strength plus 8. So I'm just gonna roll the 8 from her strength twice.
What? What? So, wait, okay.
Oh yeah, this isn't a rune. She's full on warrior. Okay, so I need you to roll your soak. Tell me how many successes you get.
6.
6. You take no damage.
Oh,
You got 6
Whoa.
because she got 6 successes.
Wow, nicely done. The RNG gods, you have
Oh, wait,
sacrificed
they have
Sorry.
spoken.
your stomach to them.
That was only on 1 set of 8 dice. Sorry, hold on, let me reroll.
Oh yeah, you got the whole other 8.
got your hopes up. Shit.
All right, I didn't do as well on that one. I rolled 4 successes, but got 2 1s. So you take 2 points of aggravated damage.
Ow. 1, 2. Oh wait, that's. There you go. Now that's correct.
All right, I think we've got time for one more round. So starting with Sage. You gonna break one of the other chains? You got 2 of them done,
Yes.
2 to go. Okay. Linda,
Yeah. I'm gonna. It's gotta be a trick. It's always a trick. So, because I'm not as familiar with Werewolf as everybody else, if I was to enter the Umbra right now,
you would have to roll against a difficulty of 9.
yeah, a lot of shit going on.
You're in the middle of a science lab. This is not the ideal place to try and enter the Umbra.
Didn't you at one point in a previous session mention spending a gnosis for an immediate step?
I did.
Once I got there, I don't know what I'd do, though. I'm interested to see what it looks like on the other side, though, since it looks so weird on the outside.
You're interested while this Rokia black spiral dancer
I will.
on fire
like-
just bit you.
Can I make a slight suggestion?
Yes.
Like we have one ripped off shackle and one unlocked shackle that are silver. Don't know if you want to do anything with that or not. It's a suggestion. I have no idea.
Well, the fact that it's silver, I can only use it as effectively against her that I could resist it.
So, and please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Silver reduces your gnosis while you are touching.
Yes.
However, damage from silver can only be soaked in breed form.
Yes. But this is a chain, not a bladed thing. So it's not going to do aggravated damage if you just kind of bash her with it.
I mean, it's not going to do aggravated damage if you bash her with it, correct. It's going to do bashing damage.
Yep.
But with a Krynos form roll, wrapping a silver chain around your fist and punching her in the face, or whipping her with it, either one.
Or wrapping around her neck and trying to garrote her.
I mean, however much damage you may do is bashing. But even if you take back, if you can't
No,
soak it,
what I'm saying is that it is not. It is not a. It's not necessarily weaponized to the point where it's going to be unsoakable. If you bash her with it, I will say that it will give you. I will say it will do some bonus damage, but it is going to be soakable damage. So I just don't want to make sure that you're not thinking that this is going to be non-soakable damage.
oh well, then that if it's not going to be non-soakable, then
Because
that
it's-
advice goes out the window.
Yeah.
Because it's not a solid silver chain. Solid silver chains are actually not that strong. it's like a normal steel chain, but it's laced with silver. So it has the
That-
effect of
Plated garbage.
dampening the gnosis, but it's not enough silver to be used as a weapon.
It was an idea.
Well, I'm just gonna keep trying to go to town on her
Okay.
to give these guys some time to get Grandma
Okay.
out of here.
And then Fraser, you're going to
We have one lock to go. We need to get it
break
done.
open the lock as well. Okay. And then Breaker.
Yeah, so what is the limit for how much rage I can use?
You can spend half of your max rage in one turn. So if your
Okay.
max rage is 5, you can spend 2. If it's 6, you can do 3. It's half rounded down.
Going the complete opposite direction. Can things be pulled into the Umbra with me?
Yes, but it makes stepping sideways very hard.
Okay.
You already know that it's going to be very hard here because you're in a science lab, so that would make it essentially impossible.
Okay. Is that including if I spend, willpower and gnosis to help make it happen?
Yes.
Or head glasses.
Yeah. Basically, once you hit a 10, it can't go any higher than that. So you start needing to have a certain number of successes. So the difficulty to cross over here is a 9. To pull somebody with you, I'd have to look it up, but I know it increases it by more than the peek through.
Especially if
So-
they're not willing.
Yeah, because they're fighting against you. So you would need to roll at a 9, or no, you'd have to roll at a 9 and get like at least 3 successes to even count as one success.
But as you said, the gnosis
I would not allow you
No.
to do an auto cross with Gnosis dragging somebody behind you. No.
Yeah. Okay.
They're actively fighting against you. So
Well, then I'm spending 2 rage, and I'm gonna keep
Okay.
fighting her.
okay. And attack. And are you going to try to heal?
It's bashing damage, right?
Yes, but you have to.
I believe the book says it's only lethal that you have to roll to heal.
You automatically heal 1 level
Yep.
Per
of
turn.
bashing.
of bashing, lethal, or aggravated, but you have to make that stamina roll difficulty 8 in order to do it.
Okay. I thought it was with only for lethal damage that you had to roll that.
They treat basically
If they-
werewolves treat
if-
everything as whatever. I think.
A werewolf generates 1 health level of bashing damage per turn under any circumstance. If
Oh,
the damage
okay.
is lethal, yeah. So, alright, I do regenerate 1, so
Okay.
I'm now only at 1. I'm only at bruised.
Okay.
And don't have a dice penalty.
Okay.
Alright.
All right. So then, Linda, if you wanted to try to heal any of yours, you would need to make that roll though,
Because my highest is aggravated.
yeah, the bashing would heal automatically. Actually, the bashing would heal automatically because it heals the lowest one. But next turn, to try and heal the aggravated, then you would have to roll. All right, and she is going to burn 2 rage and attack. So she's done with this. So let's roll the first one of that. All right. 6 attacks, or 6 to hit on Linda. So that gives me... All right, Linda, give me a soak.
So, that's only 2.
Okay, you take 4 points of aggravated.
I'm hurting bad. Oh wait, is it 4?
4.
What shape are you in?
Krenos.
Doesn't soak not... Does soak take wound penalties or no?
No.
So you can't only have 2 if you're in Krenos, because at least 3 stamina from Krenos.
Yeah, I rolled 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you
only
said
got-
you only had 2 dice. Never mind.
No, I got 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. All right. So, Breaker, attack number 1.
Okay.
Ow, my face and hands.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes.
Okay. Roll your damage.
Don't have time to pick you up, Floor Die. We'll have to deal with that later. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 8 successes.
All right. I
Oh,
got 8 successes on my soak. So no damage. Yep, I saw it. And Frazier, make your open seal roll. Linda, why don't you go ahead and roll your attack as well? And then Sage, go ahead and roll your willpower to break your chain as well. Get all 3 of those going at once here.
What am I? God, why do I have to remember every single time? It's just
Gnosis.
Gnosis. Duh. Difficulty 9, yeah?
Yep.
Click on something that has 3 in it.
I don't even think I'm gonna do anything.
Spend a point of willpower because this shit we need to get the hell out of here. 1 success, so 2 successes.
Okay, you pop that one. Linda, you can spend a point of rage to ignore all wound penalties.
That's true, I can.
Sage, how'd you do?
Well, I will do that.
3 successes.
All right, you snap that chain.
Alright, let me re-roll that. It didn't help.
How'd you do on your hit?
Wait, what? I got 2 successes.
Yep. Roll damage. Strength plus 2.
Five.
5. All right. I soaked 4, so she takes 1 point. He bites back. For 3, doing 6. So soak that. And Breaker, go ahead and roll your attack.
I soaked 5. And Linda falls over.
4 successes. Roll your damage.
One, two, three, 4, 5.
Okay. She is not looking very good. She takes one more bite at you, and I'm going to give her a difficulty boost for that, trying to reach around to the back to get you. And she gets 1 success. Stoke 5 for me. And then you get to counterattack.
Soaked 4.
Okay, so you take 1 and you get to counterattack.
One, two, 3. 3.
Okay, roll your strength plus 3,
What?
I believe.
Plus 3, okay. Two, 4, 6, 5.
5. All right, so Breaker and the Black Spiral back and forth, biting, snaps at Linda, drops her, and then Breaker just grabs her by the throat and tears it out. And that is what we're going to call it for the night. Thank you. Enough for now, so let's call it a night. We thank you for daring to follow us into the wilds as we strove to delay the apocalypse, and hope you will join us again next time. If you'd be so kind as to click follow here on Twitch as well as subscribing on YouTube, we would greatly appreciate it. Special thanks tonight to the patrons and Twitch subscribers. Without your support, the battle for the Gaia would have already been lost. In addition, we would like to once again extend our thanks to Onyx Path Publishing, Astral Tabletop, Nate Mid for our custom Astral Tabletop character sheets, and finally White Bat Audio, Mayu Ghost Stories Incorporated, Dark Somnium, and Darren Curtis for some of the awesome music gracing our ears during this adventure. Players, please tell the viewers who you are and where they can see you before next week.
I am Dwayne at Made of Kimchi. Find me on the at Made of Kimchi. Next time you guys will see me will be next Friday, running Contagion Chronicle.
Zachary Naldret, he, him, or just down below. You can find almost anything that I do there. And you'll see me here next week because I believe we're not going to be doing Pugmire because someone is unavailable.
You can find me on Twitter at RA and you can find me here next Saturday.
And I have been Frazier DeSeth, otherwise known as John, otherwise known as J3 Billion. And the next time you can find me is going to be tomorrow for Unknown Armies, right here at 4 o'clock.
Now we kick it back to you, viewers. It's your time to vote for the player that you think stood out. You can do this once per session and give that player 1 point of rage, gnosis, or willpower, which they can use at any time in the future. Please place your vote in the Twitch chat. Players, since we're cut short for time, I'll ask you guys to post yours in the Discord. Last but not least, I want to give a shout out to Tabletop Titties. They are a queer and feminist TTRPG podcast and streaming group run entirely by people of marginalized genders. Their second season of the D&D show Into the Revelia follows our heroes from season 1 as they take on Hit Point Press's hilarious horror carnival module Heckna every Tuesday live at twitch.tv/tabletoptitties at 7 p.m. Pacific time starting June 1st, and an edited podcast form every Friday. Their second show, Titties by Night, is a Vampire the Masquerade V5 show starring a coterie of supernatural investigators as they solve mysteries in Victorian London. Catch all the vampiric action Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Pacific on Twitch and in podcast form on Saturdays. For more information, visit tabletoptitties.com. And remember, every time we say titties, it's with double D's. Our fire is burning low, though, so we will meet you back here next Saturday at 8 Eastern. Until then, tuck in and don't let the worm bite.